Hey guys, AlduicS here, and we're back with Season 1, Episode 4 of 86. Sure, for the most part, last time was much calmer and slower than anticipated, but it's not necessarily a bad thing, because it dealt with the down moments, the casual moments between combat missions, when no one's risking life and limb to survive, to make it through the battlefield, through the next fight, but rather just building that sense of camaraderie, that unity, endearing us to the characters, making appreciate and worry about their well-being. And it was all fine and dandy until it wasn't. Because that end of the episode twist, where Kirschblue, the 186 other than Shin, who was seemingly taking the most interest in Lena after constant nighttime conversations, after revealing the truth about her presence on the battlefield that one time, why she treats the 86 so well, death came. The suddenness, much like real life, was unpredictable. It was unexpected. And it got me shook. It got me very excited to see what's going to happen next because we have, I believe, Laughing Fox is his code name, lashing out angrily at Lena, who's breaking down and apologizing. It's not what he wants to hear. They just lost a comrade, someone they were literally just with hours before. So he does speak some facts, but it's mostly emotional outrage. It's a means of venting his stress, his frustration, his grief. And the easiest target is the target of his deep seated hatred, his deep seated distrust, the Alba, the ones, the overlords, the rulers, forcing the 86 to fight on their behalf and not even calling them human, not even giving them official death reports, treating him like absolute garbage, like livestock, essentially. And while Lena's might be different from them, he's still associating the whole Alba are bad. We don't know his backstory. We don't know a lot of their backstories, and we will likely find out, but it did call to light Lena's hypocrisy, and as was pointed out, she actually learned the cat's real name, or names, before she ever tried to learn about the 86, the Spearhead Unit's real names. She was calling them by code names. She was not taking that next step of attempting to close the distance between them. It might have slipped her mind. It might have been a complete accident. Or maybe she was afraid to ask that because it's definitely more personal than before. Maybe she wanted to wait until the time was right. But it's still a level of hypocrisy, and I could see why it did set off Karina to a degree, in addition to the fact that we learned about the romantic interest involved, the feelings, the dynamics among characters. It's all culminating really well, and we're only 3 episodes in. So, before we hop into the episode and find out what's going to happen next, check out my links down below, my Twitter, my Twitch, my Kitsu, my Patreon, my Discord, even my VOD channel. Support me on all those platforms. Make sure you have a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified when I upload next, and let's hop into it. I do believe we'll probably focus on the 86's perspective of the mission now, see how Kirschblue died, see what's up with that low that Lena made a comment about and everything, and see how she died, and most likely make me cry because it will be intense, it'll be depressing. Because I did like her, I did like Kirschblue. It was nice that we did see them getting slightly closer through the conversations. Ooh. Facial expressions on point. And his VA is fantastic. But obviously, they've definitely been through this time and again, so they don't want to spend too much time grieving, or they'll grieve in their own ways. They don't want to drag down the mood for everyone else. They want to internalize it, bottle it up, and only let it out when it really needs to come out. Otherwise, they'd get bogged down by the amount of comments they have lost, and I do kind of appreciate their attempts at being upbeat, of maintaining that unity and that camaraderie, even if they did just lose a core member, essentially, or someone that they truly cared about. The Fox Commander? A relative? Or perhaps his mentor? I do like that we're focusing on Theo, because his moments from last time, the very end, were the most poignant, or one of the most significant moments of the episode. So hearkening back to it and then spending time elaborating upon it always impresses me, because when stories do that and they make me care about a character, even if it was just an emotional outrage, and I can't pass too much judgment on him since I don't know him, spending this extra time learning about him also makes me fear for his life, because that means he could be very well be the next one to die. Maybe he'll come around to Lena and then they'll rip the rug out from us and absolutely wreck us. So I'm afraid, but very appreciative of what we're getting with him. I don't think she believes she's a saint. Even he thinks he went too far, but it's easy to say too much in the heat of the moment. Grief does shit to you, man. It's very easy to say things you may never want to take or you can't take back. So the fact that he's mulling it over already proves he's a very good person. He's a good guy. He's a great character. He's not one note, and I can appreciate that. I'll probably sound like a broken record, but the writing already is on point for Theo, and I like it. But our girl would never give up with just one outrage. But even still, she wants to bring the two worlds together. She doesn't want to discriminate against them. She wants to understand them, to be both in their world and her own, and have them in her world and their own, to merge, or at least have them partially converge, so they're no longer separated, so they can be treated like individual people, not like livestock. So she's accepted her powerlessness. She's accepted her fate. She's not willing to resist, not willing to change the status quo. I do like this contrast between them. Annette is more willing to essentially give up on the prospect of rectifying it, of treating them like people, of going that high road, that better person route, and instead just going the I'm the oblivious civilian, essentially. The I'm just doing what the government's telling me, but I'm also not showing support for him, is how I'd say it. While Lena is the one who is actively calling out the government in class and everything about their history, challenging propaganda, willing to treat the 86 like people. So she's taking that high road where, sure, you could say she's acting like a saint, and I don't think she believes she's a saint, but it's still a very difficult one. She doesn't want to give up on the prospect of fixing the situation or improving it for both of them. And I can truly respect that. It's really nice. But don't envy her, because it's going to be a very rocky road. One last note, real quick. It gave me this vibe that Annette might pull something down the road, all for the best interests of Lena, not as a handler, but as her friend, as a citizen of this empire or this republic. I can't remember which. I do apologize. It'll still take me a while. But she might pull something. Maybe she'll report her, get her in trouble, or have her discharged from the position, or make it extremely difficult for her and end up being a source of conflict. I could see it going that route, and it would be very interesting if we do, because she wants to protect her, she wants to help her, she wants to ease her mind, but she also doesn't want to see her die. She doesn't want to see her suffer. She doesn't want to see her endure what she's been doing with the multiple units she's taken hold of. So I can both respect and show concern for what may happen. It'd be ironic. Okay, no, it was her father. Okay. I wonder if maybe the Fox commander was the 86 who saved her years ago. This OST. All right, I see you. That was presented really well. I mean, yeah. I can see where he's coming from. First, we'll have to rectify the fact that you're not fighting on the battlefield. But could this mean that Lena might use more of the para-raid system? Might tune more senses in, take on more burden, all to help them out, use every ounce of her being, because she wants to fight alongside them. She wants to give it her all. She wants to risk life and limb, even if she can't actively go to the battlefield herself. But they're still worth striving for. That's where we differ, my guy. Yep, to create further disconnect so they don't treat them like actual people. Mm. So that tells Shin's talent because they're expected to die within a year, but he's in his 5th year of the military service right now, while a lot of the other characters in the Spearhead unit, because they are the ace unit, if I'm not mistaken, they're lasting around 4 years right now. It's running away from the core problem. It's looking away from it, turning a blind eye. Embracing the fantasy, the lies that the government tell you. So it's his way of honoring them. I sort of figured it was something along those lines, carrying on their dreams, their aspirations, their will, carrying them on essentially, even if only a piece. But with the music overlaid it and hearing Shin explain it, it's getting a wee bit overwhelming. I need to process real quick because I might actually break down. I don't know why that hit so hard. I do hope that's not foreshadowing for what's to come. 561. So we're definitely setting up for Lena to return to the battlefield, or at least fight alongside them at some point. Well, that might have brought back up some bad memories or painful ones. I'll be honest, I might hop into episode 5 right away, because after what we just found out, consider me very interested, very invested, and curious on what will happen next. Nozen. So she knows someone that was Shin's brother, is or was, still don't know, but based on those memories, it's very likely they're no longer with us among the world of the living. What will be the significance? Could it be that's the 86 that saved her all those years ago? Or did they manage to come into the 85th district and above? Or is something else going on? Because based on some of those memories, it doesn't seem like it's all good ones. And I wonder how Shin will react, considering he was shocked. Obviously, he wasn't expecting to hear his brother's name, or the fact that she knows him. But maybe this will awaken some repressed memories, some stuff he'd rather forget, rather not confront, but it might end up bringing them closer, or it could create a divide between them. But it was so damn sweet, so emotional, seeing Lena overcome her unwitting hypocrisy and resolve herself to learn their names, to start treating them better, to start treating them as humans, and defy what she's been taught, the basics, the everyday discrimination built into her because of the environment she's built in and raised in. Even if she learned the truth, it's still different from actively fighting against the falsehoods and what the government is actively promoting. Because they're standing on the sidelines and then actively participating to change it for the better. And no doubt about it, Lena will be one of those people. I'm very curious on what actions she will pull to improve their situation, if at all, and who might stand in her way. I do have a feeling it will be a net at some point. She will cause a conflict. Uncle Jerome may also end up causing some conflict as well, out of her best interests, out of regard for safety, but will she be able to overcome them? Will we see an actual happy ending or an improved situation? It has me very invested to find out. But also the fact that we got to learn their names, and it will take me a bit to learn their true names and associate those names with faces. So I do apologize. But seeing that all play out, and the music that hit with it, and that ending song too by Sawano, it all just hit. It made me tear up. It got me feeling the feels. It hit harder than I was expecting it to. But it was such a solid follow up episode. It was so good. Plus, spending time with Theo, as I said, just seeing him mull it over what he said, well, he wasn't necessarily wrong in what he said. It was an outcry, an outrage of grief, of anger, of pent up negative emotions from being oppressed, from being treated like livestock. And she was just the easiest target for it. It's nice that he is an actual good person, a decent person, was concerned about how he said it, not necessarily about what he said. And it's really nice that we're focusing on both the 86 and then Lena and the struggles between them, developing each side, endearing them, and slowly closing that distance. And it did foreshadow several plot points, in addition to Annette and Uncle Jerome very likely causing conflicts out of Lena's best interest because they are content to staying on the sidelines, turning a blind eye to not necessarily involving themselves. They've resolved themselves to the fact that this situation maybe never turned around, that they're not pursuing the ideals that Lena might be pursuing, that they've essentially given up. Meanwhile, Lena has not, and I don't doubt she will probably try to go to the battlefield one of these days. It could be down the road or it could be the next episode, but it'll be honestly one of the next steps, and I'm very curious. Also, very worried for her well being. Considering what we know about the show already, I wouldn't be surprised if she even gets like seriously injured and loses a limb or something, or if she does full synchronize with the para raid, including multiple senses, she starts to take serious like brain damage or irreparable damage to her mind, body, or soul. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. Let me know your guys' stats down below. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon to be notified when I upload next. Check out my links and all that fun stuff. This has been 86, and this has also been AlduicS. Nailed it. Peace.